Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I thought today I would do a May reading wrap up because I actually read 6 books this month, which is a lot because the past couple of months I've only been reading like 1 or 2. But yeah, I read 6 books and I'm super excited to talk about them if I remember what happened in them. I don't know, I feel like for some of them I'm a bit like, my mind's gone a bit blank, but I will try and remember what happened in them. I did do an April reading wrap up, but it was in like one of my vlogs because I only read 3 books last month. Also, I don't know if you can hear the birds outside because the window's open. Maybe I should shut it. That's better. So last month I was reading like the Chestnut Spring series, and then at the start of this month I kind of took like a little mini break from it and I read King of Sloth just as like a filler in the series, which is weird because I don't normally do that. Normally I just read like series right after one another, but maybe it was because I've been waiting for this book for a really long time. But guys, it's peeling off as well, which I'm so sad about because my other ones didn't peel off. So I don't even know how this one started doing that. And I've also seen people put clear nail polish on top, but I don't know, I have a thing about like texture, so I feel like it would annoy me if I did that. But yeah, this is the 4th book in the Kings of Sin series, and it's about Sloane and Xavier. So Sloane is basically Xavier's publicist, and she is like helping him maintain a good image, and she's also helping him kind of like inherit his like billions of dollars or something. It's not really like a forbidden romance. I mean, I don't know if it is. I don't know, I get tropes mixed up, so I don't know if it's like a forbidden romance or something because she's not meant to date him because he's her client. That's what she says. It's kind of like that, so they kind of, it's basically secretive, but they're trying to keep it a secret. She's super like put together and organised and like really perfect, and he's the opposite, so he kind of like brings her out of her shell and stuff. And I don't even remember what happened in this book, guys, I'm not gonna lie. It was a 4-star read, but that could have just been, you know, in the time. Like, I did really enjoy reading it. You know what, we're just gonna move on. Maybe I'll come back to that later. But the next book that I read was Reckless by Elsie Silver. This is the 4th book in the Chestnut Spring series, and it's Winter and Theo's book. Guys, this was my favourite book. It's basically like a, it's like pregnancy trope, which a lot of people hate. I know loads of people hate that, but this one was so good. I really enjoyed it, and I don't know if I hate it normally. Do I? I feel like I've only read one other book that has like a pregnancy trope, and it was the one in the off-campus series, but I forgot what it's called. But yeah, this one was about Winter and Theo, and basically Theo's a bull rider and Winter is a doctor. Winter's basically just come out of toxic marriage and she's like very guarded and stuff. She basically meets Theo at like a family dinner because Theo is Rhett is Theo's, what's it called? Mentor, that's what it's called. He's his mentor, and Winter does not like him. Like, she just thinks she doesn't like him. Theo's kind of like instantly obsessed with her, and he's like, oh my god, I love her. You kind of see a little sneak peek of them in the book before this, which is the cutest thing ever, which is really funny. But that scene that you see in Powerless about these two, it comes in this one as well. But yeah, he's kind of like obsessed with her, and she's like, leave me alone kind of vibe. And obviously kind of end up having a one-night stand, and she gets pregnant, and I don't know, it's kind of like a single mum trope, but you'll find out why. So it is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. I think it was, I don't know, I just think it was so cute, like the way everything like worked out for them. It's such a cute romance, you guys. I'm obsessed with it. I love cowboy romances. Like, the Chestnut Spring series has probably been one of my favourite series that I've read in a long time. I'm saying that now before I talk about the last book, guys, but keep that in mind before I talk about the last book because I hated Hopeless. What did I give this? I gave this 5 stars. I don't know if I said that I gave this 5 stars, but I did. I feel like I've been talking about that book for like 10 minutes and I couldn't even get anything out about it because everything I said just wasn't making sense. But the next book that I read was Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This is the last book in the Chestnut Spring series, and it's about Beau and Bailey. I think that's what her name is. But basically, this is like a fake dating book. I didn't even know it was fake dating, but Beau's basically in the military. Well, he's just come out of the military, and Bailey is like a barmaid, and she's got like kind of, her family's got like a bad reputation, and I don't know, people treat her differently because of it, and he's kind of like his family are kind of like, everybody loves them, and like everyone would do anything for their family in like the small town. So he basically kind of offers to be her fake fiance, so that people treat her better, so she gets like more opportunities and stuff, and it's just kind of like a fake dating book from there. I didn't like this book. I don't know if it was like the whole military vibe. I don't know. I thought there was going to be some crazy plot twist, but it really wasn't that crazy. Like, I wasn't shocked. Like, I feel like I didn't care enough to be shocked. Like, that sounds really bad, but I just didn't enjoy this book. I think I gave it 3 stars, but now that I'm thinking about it, I would probably give it a 2. I just feel like it kind of ruined the vibe for me. Like, I did love seeing everybody else in the book, which was cute, but yeah, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. That was bad vibes. Anyways, the next book that I read was The Infinity Between Us by N.S. Perkins. This has been on my TBR for a really long time. I was meant to read it last year, but I didn't. So last year I went through this obsession of just reading second chance romances, like, all the time. I don't even know why. I think it stemmed off of Happy Place, and then I became obsessed with them. But this is also a second chance romance, and I feel like all summer second chance romances are kind of the same, I'm not gonna lie. This one is about Violet and, what was the guy's name? I think his name's Will. Yeah, this one's about Violet and Will. Basically, there was like these families that would go to this beach house together, and it's kind of like, you know, Summer I Turned Pretty vibes, like with, you know, like how the both families go to the beach house together, and there's like a romance between the daughter and the son. It's kind of like that, but except there's like something crazy happened like 5 years ago, and they haven't like spoken since. So Violet basically goes back to the summer house because they're trying to sell it, I think. I don't know. I think they both of the families own the house, so they have to like agree on who wants to sell it or something. I don't know, something like that. But when she goes there, Will is there, and Will does not want to sell the house. And it's just one of those things that like they're like avoiding each other, and they don't want to talk about what happened in the past. But it's also one of those books that like goes back into the past. Like, you know, when it has like a present chapter and then a past chapter, so you like slowly find out what happened like 5 years ago. I liked the first half of the book. Like, I'd say I liked maybe like the first 100 pages. Like, I thought it was really cute, and I don't know, it just gave me like Summer I Turned Pretty vibes. But I don't know, as it got on, I feel like it just dragged a little bit. And I also guessed the plot twist before, like literally at the start of the book I was like, oh, I bet this is gonna happen, and it did happen. Yeah, it was okay. I didn't enjoy it that much. I gave it like 3 stars, I think. But yeah, it's basically just second chance romance. But I feel like most second chance romances are the same. Anyways, the next book that I read was Funny Story by Emily Henry. Look how cute it is. But I basically joined Steph's Patreon best friends and book club thingy, and the first book of the book club was Funny Story. I think it's still actually going on right now, but I finished it. So okay, there's a lot going on in this book. So this book is about Daphne and Miles. So Daphne was basically engaged to Peter, and Miles was dating this girl called Petra. But Petra and Peter are best friends, and all of a sudden they just decided that they are in love and want to get married. So Peter like dumped Daphne. This is so confusing. Okay, it's really not that confusing. I'm really bad at explaining things. Both Peter and Petra broke off things with Miles and Daphne, and then Daphne ended up moving out of Peter's house into an apartment with Miles. That kind of thing. Kind of like a fake dating trope where Daphne basically tells Peter that she's dating Miles. So Daphne's basically like a librarian. I think she's a librarian. And Miles is like, he owns a bar or something, or he does like something. I don't know. She didn't even know what he did in the book, and honestly neither do I. So basically they kind of stop fake dating, and Daphne has like got a countdown on her calendar of when she wants to like move out, because she wants to like start fresh, and she doesn't feel like the town that she is currently in is kind of like her town, because it was the town that she moved to for Peter. But Miles is like really determined to show her like around the whole town basically, and I guess change her mind before she decides to leave. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like fake dating. It's really cute. I don't know, I feel like every time Emily Henry writes something, like the way that she writes it is so beautiful. Like, it's just so cute. I gave this book a 4 stars. Or did I give it 4.5? I don't know, because you can't put halves on like Goodreads, so I always forget if I gave it a half. But yeah, I did really enjoy it. It was really cute. I feel like at the start for me it was a little bit hard to get into. Like, I was a little bit bored. But once you get past like chapter 7, it gets so good. It was super cute and I really enjoyed it. Okay, so the last book that I read in May, oh my god, I can't even tell you how good this book is, you guys. I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This book has been on my mind for like the past, when did I even read this? It's been on my mind for like the past week, and I'm so obsessed with it, like you don't understand. I feel like I haven't read a fantasy book in so long. So it's basically about this girl called Payden, who is an ordinary, and in like the kind of world where this book is like set, ordinaries aren't allowed to exist. Like there's people with magic, and then there's obviously like ordinaries who have no power. They're not like allowed to exist, and they're like meant to be killed. She's like a really skilled thief, and I don't know, she's got like, she's really good at lying, so she pretends that she's got like this psychic ability where she can like read your mind, but she obviously can't. She's just really good at picking things up and reading people and stuff. But basically she gets put into this trial. They hold these trials where people basically kind of show off their power, and like, I don't know, I think they're just kind of showing who's the most powerful, and like people die in these trials. It's kind of like the Hunger Games, but, and like the king watches and like everybody watches the trials. It does give me like a little bit Hunger Games vibes, but it isn't really like that. So the male main character, who is my favourite, called Kai Asa, and he is basically the king's son, so he's the prince, and he's got like a power that no one else has got, so he can basically use other people's power. Like he can channel it, like anyone's power. And so Payton basically gets put into these trials with Kai. Is my camera moving? Payton basically gets put into the trials with Kai, and there's obviously like some other people in the trials as well, but I don't know, it's kind of like enemies to lovers. So it's basically enemies to lovers, but it's not really to lovers, because it's enemies to lovers to enemies. Like when you read the ending of this book, you are gonna die, because I died, because they kind of like despise each other, but you can tell they like each other. Do you know what I mean? And like the banter and the tension between them is just the funniest thing ever, and it's just so cute. Like, oh my god, I can't get over them. Like I'm obsessed with them. This is like my new obsession book. Like, you guys remember how obsessed I was with Once Upon a Broken Heart series? This is my new Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I've been waiting for such a good fantasy book to like obsess over, and this is my new kind of fantasy book obsession, which is good because the Once Upon a Broken Heart series is finished now, so I need a new fantasy series to obsess over. But there is another book, there's a sequel as well that I actually just read with my friend, and there's also another book coming out in like a month, I think, which I'm actually really scared for. Like, I'm not ready for that. I just need them to have the happy ending, guys. So there's kind of like a love triangle as well, because Kai actually has a brother called Kit, who is basically the one that's going to take the throne after their dad dies or whatever. But he kind of likes Payton as well, and she kind of just spends time with both of the brothers. And the ending, you guys, I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I feel like you know which brother you want her to end up with, obviously. I do. I want her to end up with Kai. It's so good, and I can't even like tell you how good it is. Like, you need to read it. I don't know why I put it off for so long as well. So look how pretty the cover is. Stunning. We love. But yeah, those were all the books that I read in May. So I think there were 6 of them. And oh, did I tell you that I gave this 5 stars? I don't know, but I did give this 5 stars. But yeah, those are all the books that I read in May. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!